Go ahead and introduce myself for those of you that don't know who I am. My name is Michael. I am the owner of 15 Cent Pressure Washing here in Columbia, Tennessee. Right now I'm out at a customer's house and we're going to provide our driveway cleaning service. I'm also going to do the house and the back deck, but I don't have that much battery life on this phone right now, so we're just going to do the driveway. I've already started pre-treating some of the driveway, and I'm going to show you guys how we pre-treat concrete prior to pressure washing. Once it's pre-treated, we then will pressure wash it. For those of you that don't know what pre-treating concrete is, right, we use a mixture of sodium hypochlorite, it's pretty much bleach, at 12.5%, and then we use detergents, soaps. Now we mix these in a way to where we get a specific percentage of SH. Now on this concrete, I'm using a 4%. Now this treatment is going to kill all this mold, right? You can see how it's black, right? That is all mold. Now you can see up here how it's more brown. All that mold has been killed from the treatment. Now concrete's porous, so concrete tends to embed the mold spores, right? And this is why it's important to pre-treat the concrete prior to pressure washing. If we just pressure wash this driveway without treating it, the mold spores can still be down in the concrete because the concrete's porous. So in return, a few months later, we got mold growing back again, and we do not want that, right? We want to be able to provide the longest clean possible. So we're gonna go ahead and pre-treat this. I'm gonna show you guys how we pre-treat it, and after we pre-treat it, we're gonna pressure wash it and get it cleaned up. Like I said, this here has not been treated yet. You can see how black it still is. This here has been treated. Now there are some few spots, like you can see where it started to dry up some. That's where most likely the mold has started to suck up the SH. Those areas we'll have to retreat again to ensure that we kill all the mold, because we do not want any mold left on this concrete or in it when we get done. All right, let's start treating this bad boy. I'll go ahead and turn this around real quick. I do have a new camera vest, so I'm hoping that this thing's going to work with me and it's not going to be too bouncy. So let's go through and treat this little section here. You guys can see the difference within it. It'll start turning colors. It'll go from black to brown. Now we want to be sure not to spray any vegetation because it can potentially damage it, and we do not want to damage any vegetation. You can see like this through here, we've already treated that right there. Now I am using a 12-volt soft wash machine to apply our detergents and chemical. Now if you do not have a 12-volt machine or do not have the funds to purchase a 12-volt machine right now, you can use a pump sprayer. You know, for those of you that don't know, whenever I first started my business, I only had 15 cents to my name, a water hose, and a pump sprayer. And I believed in myself and I ran with it, right? You don't necessarily have to have top-of-the-line equipment, the best truck, the best rig, you know, to get jobs and to provide efficient, long-lasting cleans. You don't. You can do it with a water hose and pump sprayer. You know, and you guys, that's why I named my business 15 Cent Pressure Wash. And it'll always remind me where I came from. And it's part of my story. You know, you guys, we only live once. Right? It's part of my story. You know, I had customers, whenever we first started doing this, I've had customers that told us we were providing better cleanings than people that had, you know, multiple rigs, employees that were coming out and cleaning their properties years in the past. It's not all about having the best equipment, best trucks, you guys. It's about having the knowledge, right? If you have the knowledge on what to do, there's ways to do these things without having to have top-of-the-line equipment. Now down the road, once you do get the funds, you definitely do want to purchase these things because it will help things to move along a lot faster. You know, if I was to pump spray this driveway, it would probably take an hour, possibly 2 hours, because this concrete is soaking the treatment up fairly good. Right, versus now it'll take about 20 to 30 minutes to completely treat the whole driveway. One of the reasons for this video too is, you know, for some of you that have been wondering how we provide our services, or, you know, if you're new to the industry or you're intrigued by the exterior cleaning industry, you know, you can get a live eyes on how this stuff works. It's been a while since I've done a live video. Yep, so you can see like these areas here have started to kind of soak our treatment up. And you can see how it still has a black tint to it, right? So we want to be sure that we treat these again to completely kill all that mold, because if we don't, when we come to start pressure washing this with a surface cleaner, it's not going to get that up. Then we're going to have to spend more time with our wand, and we don't want that. We want to be able to get in and get out while providing the cleanest clean possible. Here in a minute, whenever we get up there to, you know, grab the surface cleaner and cut the pressure washer on, I'll walk you guys around the rig real quick for those of you that haven't seen it. The big boy. Show you guys what things can look like, man. You know, I went from being broke, living out of my car, you know, 15 cents water hose and a pump sprayer, to where we're at now. You know, I just bought my first house. And you guys, I'm definitely not trying to brag. Just want to inform you guys what things can look like, you know, and honestly, man, all it is believing in yourself. It don't have to be pressure washing, you know, or landscaping. It can literally be anything you want, man. You know, and at one point in time, people used to tell me this, but I didn't believe it. You know, it just didn't seem logical at the time. But now, you know, where I'm at in life, what I've done with this pressure washing business, I now believe I could have done this with anything. No matter what it was. All right, yeah. So look at that, it's soaking it up pretty good. Let's go ahead and re-hit that. Let's re-hit it. Get that mold killed. If it's brown, it's coming down. And it ain't brown yet. Gotta be careful spraying these edges like that, so we're not messing anything up. Been doing this for so long, you guys. I've gotten pretty good with this thing. We're gonna retreat. Sorry, you guys. We're gonna retreat some of this through here too. You can see, like right here, how it's a lot more black than it is like right in here, like these black spots. That won't clean up with the surface cleaner. Man, I wish YouTube would let me get a wide shot on this. We would be able to see things a lot better. But it doesn't. Oh yeah, look how black that is right there. That's what this whole driveway looked like before I started treating it. Now see, the wind's blowing pretty good. One other thing we got to pay attention to is vegetation. You know, we don't want the wind to blow and spray our treatment on the vegetation there. So we're going to come over here and spray this way. Never killed a plant, and we do not plan on ever killing one. Cannot tell you guys how many customers we have that call that ask if we're going to kill their plants, or if plants dying are just part of, you know, the cleaning process, because they've had people come out in prior years to clean for them that have, you know, killed their vegetation. No, it is definitely not part of the cleaning process. Vegetation should not be killed nor damaged, ever. We got a video on this on YouTube on how to protect the vegetation while you're washing a house, or, you know, green concrete, or whatever it is that you're doing. All right. Let's grab our pressure line, and then we'll get up there and I'll show you all the rig. Or I'll show you the rig. We got one watching. Hey, what's up? Thanks for watching. If I can find the end of this line. Come on now. All right, we're down there. There it is. Hiding in the grass. Come here. Still got a little pressure in there. See, we got a little spot there. We can touch that up. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to show you around the rig real quick. All right, you guys. So we do have our Flow Pro. If you don't know what that is our chemical bypass right here. And we have a remote. So when I press mix, it's going to start drawing my chemicals and detergents. When I press rinse, you know, it's going to electronically switch over to pull nothing but water. Now when we hit mix, that light's going to blink, so it's going to notify us to let us know that we're pulling chemicals and detergent. Right now we just need water, so we're going to hit rinse. And you can see it. You can see the ball valve switching over by itself. You know, without this, we just have to come over here with the ball valve, cut it, you know, open it and close it. Here is our Pro Proportioner. This is what we use to get our percentage of detergent and our percentage of SH. Now you can see we're running at 4% on our SH, 3% on our detergent. The detergent's always going to be 1% behind our SH. This here is for our downstream, right? That there. We downstream houses. It's rare that, you know, we'll soft wash a house or whatnot. We use the downstream method, which does use low to medium pressure for cleaning. So we're not pressure washing houses. We're downstreaming them. Now we do have all electric hose reels. This one here is not electric. This one's hooked up to the 5-gallon machine, which the hose blew out. We got another hose coming in to put on there. So we got our water line, pressure line, soft wash line. We got a 500-gallon water tank. Of course, the Gorilla ladder, you got to have one of those. And then we got a 24-foot ladder that's over there. And then here's Big Boy. So this is a Hydromax machine, 8 gallons per minute at 4,000 PSI. You know, when I went from the 5-gallon, which is this one right here, you know, this was my first professional pressure washer that I bought. When I bought the 5-gallon and went to the 8-gallon, massive difference, massive difference. Man, it cut our cleaning time down in half. Now this tank here is the neutralizer tank. You know, if we're in an area that has a lot of vegetation, and let's say we're doing a building, there's a lot of mold on the brick building, we have to use the soft wash machine to kill all that mold. we're first going to downstream our neutralizer on all of the vegetation to ensure that none of the vegetation is damaged. So if there's any SH that ends up getting onto the vegetation, this neutralizer is going to neutralize it. We do it before, during, and after. And then we have our detergent. A lot of times we use Apple Wash. Honestly, I'm not even sure what's in there right now, but Apple Wash is really good. It is a dye marker, but I really don't use the dye marker. We just use it for detergent. This is hooked up to the soft wash machine and the pressure washer for downstreaming. And then we have our SH 110 water dragon tank. That's hooked up to the downstream and the soft wash machine. That's a backup tank there that's hooked up to the downstream. You know, if we need degreasers, you know, whatever we need, we can use in that. That's usually used for big commercial jobs. You know, if we're doing, you know, a really big parking lot or parking garages, you know, we'll fill that thing up with degreaser and use it. Yes, and we do install custom fit holiday lights. If you guys aren't doing that, you need to get on board. Now that's pretty much it on the rig. And then we got the truck. I was proud of the wrap. Check out the other side. This tree is trying to hide everything from us. Hard work, God first, you guys. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without God. Put God before everything, man. God, family, and then work. All right, well, that's it, you guys. Let's go ahead and cut the pressure washer on so we can start surfacing. We're going to go ahead and start surface cleaning the driveway. First, I want to touch these few little spots up real quick just to make sure we got all this stuff killed before we start getting water on it. Matter of fact, let's do a quick little walkthrough. Make sure we got everything. Yeah, like I said earlier, guys, we want to make sure that all the mold on the concrete is completely killed. If we do not kill all of it, and there's mold spores that are still there, those spores are going to throw out other spores, and before we know it, the driveway is going to be dirty again. And we want to provide the longest clean we possibly can. Yeah, this concrete really is soaking it up, y'all. These areas look all right. We're looking for black. Like, see, there's some black in there. It's brown, but there's still a black tint to it. That means that mold hasn't completely died yet. And I feel like the top of this driveway, we may have to pressure wash it, hit it with the treatment again, and pressure wash it. We really should have did like a 4.5 to 5% through here instead of the 4%, but we did it, so it's all right. We got a little bit of time. I gave myself, you know, a little bit more time on this job because I wanted to go on here and, you know, show you guys how we do this. All right. I'm ready to start surface cleaning. Trying to make sure I'm doing this in a way where I'm still getting it in the shots. This is my first time using this vest, so you guys just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay. These dang weeds. That's good. All right. I think we're good, y'all. Other than having to go back over that bottom, I said the top part earlier, but I meant the bottom part of the driveway. This right here may need it. We'll hit it just to be careful. Just to be safe. Mold don't stand a chance with 15 cent around. Alright, there we go. Oh. Now we just need to run our soft wash line under our pressure line so we don't get tangled up here. So we're not over it there. We can bring this under. We're gonna have to grab this part of the line and run it under the soft wash line over here. Man, it's important, you guys, to make sure that your lines are ran properly, or man, they will slow you down and become a headache. It can be a pretty big headache when you're sitting there trying to untangle all your lines. It's not fun. Let's go ahead and go under this one too. Yeah, we pulled the pressure line out first, so that pressure line is going to be under our soft wash line. Alright, so we're hooked up. Let's grab the remote. Now this isn't blinking, so we know we're in rinse mode. We're pulling nothing but water right now. But we also want to make sure. Alright. About time, now let's start cleaning. Now a lot of times I'll go across the top of the driveway first, just to make sure we get all that there. Because when we're going up and down, it'll leave like little triangles through there. See, it's cleaning up pretty good. Yeah, you can see the difference from there to there. Yeah, I think the head on the surface cleaner is starting to go out. Let's just hope it don't go out right now in the middle of this video. I got another one I'll replace it with this evening. See how we're just walking through this. We're just walking through it. Now we want to check our concrete down here while we're cleaning. We want to check behind the surface cleaner just to make sure we're getting everything clean in it. You know, there's a spot that's not clean. We would come up, come back on it, go back over it again. Look at what we got so far. Yeah, so that's what this concrete is supposed to look like, is that right there. I'll try to fix this camera a little bit. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it looks like after the treatment, and that's what it's going to look like when it's clean. I ripped my glove. All right. We could move fairly faster than this, but with that we may have to come back on some areas, so we're just going to do it at the speed we're doing. We're going to go ahead and pull some of this pressure line down to us so we don't have to keep fighting it. Now you guys see how I ran the pressure line on this side of the driveway. So now when I go up and down, I'm not going to be fighting my hose at all, right? Because it's staying on this side. If you're fighting your hose, it can get pretty annoying. So you want to set things up in a way where you're not fighting it. Now, if we didn't treat this concrete and we just tried pressure washing it, we would have to move so slow, and then with that, it still wouldn't have cleaned the concrete. It wouldn't have got it as clean as it needed to be. We would have had to come back out, you know, with the pressure wand to touch spots up. And it wouldn't provide an efficient clean or a long-lasting clean because we didn't kill all the mold. Yeah, see that stuff coming up like butter. We also use concrete brighteners that are mixed in to help re-brighten the concrete. Well, our brightener, it's a brightener that's used for concrete, siding, I mean pretty much everything that's mixed into the detergent. And it does help with siding. You know, say we wash a house, it helps to re-brighten that siding if it has like a dull look. Now it doesn't remove oxidation or anything like that, but it will help to re-brighten the concrete a little bit. Brown is coming down. And for those of you that are here watching, I do appreciate it. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. You know, I'd like to start doing more of these live videos. Show you guys a lot of the other services that we offer and how we offer them, or how we provide them. See, we already got half of this driveway done. Look how big that driveway is. We already got half of it, half of this section done. Cleaning up really well. Hey guys, sorry I didn't have the comments on screen. I couldn't see that you guys were commenting. I do believe I have it on now. It's been a while since, you know, it's probably been a year or so since I went live. Things have changed since then. Let's pull this up a little bit. If you guys have any questions about anything, you know, just let me know, man. I'm happy to answer any questions y'all possibly have. Now once we get done surface cleaning this section of the driveway, we'll then rinse it off and then start on the other section. We don't want to do too much at once. You know, if we try doing this whole driveway, we're going to have areas where the dirt and everything dries back into the concrete. And sometimes you almost have to re-pressure wash the concrete to get rid of all the dirt and everything in there. So it's best to just break your concrete down into sections. I'll come back through. The surface cleaner is not covering everything. You can see we still got a little strip right there that we're not hitting. We'll just come back through. I thought we were going to make it. Got a little bit of yellow mold there. That stuff likes to get deeper into the concrete versus some of the other molds. Man, I'll tell y'all, lichen, you know, it's a type of fungus, natural fungus. Man, that stuff really gets down deep into whatever surface it's on. I mean, it gets deep. You know, it gets, like, when it's on vinyl siding, man, that stuff gets so deep. It can ruin vinyl siding. It can definitely ruin it. We did a job not that long ago to where their second story siding, it was above a porch, was just covered in lichen, man. We pretty much had to do a restoration on it, and there were a few spots that were just damaged from the lichen. There wasn't anything we could do about it. So it's important, you know, to keep that stuff off of your house. Or off of a customer's house. As soon as you see it, it needs to go. Alright. Well, there it is, you guys. Already looks a lot better, don't it? Let's go ahead and unhook our ball valve. Bring our pressure line up top and grab our pressure wand. Then we're going to go through and rinse this off. We'll go ahead and take our surface cleaner down there to the second section, bottom part of the drive. Thanks for watching, you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions or anything, you know, just let me know in the comments. Try to answer any questions you guys have. I do believe I have the comments on screen now, so hopefully I see them. I'm not sure because I don't think anybody's said anything yet. Yeah, we got live chat on. Awesome. I'm also going to switch this glove out. Check out that cup, y'all. I got this at the fair. So right now we're going to use a 15-degree tip. Honestly, you guys, this is about all I use. I don't never use a 45. A 0 degree is definitely a no-no. There's never a reason to use a 0-degree tip. It's just going to tear stuff up. But yeah, I use a 15-degree tip on everything. And then we also use a turbo nozzle, you know, if we're doing curbing or something like that. Now see, with this 8-gallon minute machine at 4,000 PSI, look how we can rinse off this whole driveway in one pass. Now I've seen a little bit of mold up here in this corner. We're going to go ahead and hit that real quick, spray that out of there. There we go. Get our dirt off. We don't want any dirt drying up on our concrete. I do this in a way where you guys can see it. I wish there was a wide lens on here, but YouTube does not offer it. All right, so we also want to go ahead and cut all this in down there before we rinse the driveway off, because if we rinse it off now and then do the side of the curbing, all that dirt and stuff may get onto the driveway, and now we're having to double work and rinse the areas we've just cleaned. Try to do this so y'all can see it. Let's see. Won't let me turn this thing. I'm trying to get a good shot, you guys. This is my first time using this vest. Maybe if we go this way. I'm gonna have to spray this off real quick, y'all. All right. Now we need to hit the other side. This little section right here is where it was worst at. Right under this tree. You know, it tends to stay in the shade more than other parts of the drive. So with that, you know, it's going to grow more mold. Alright, now let's get back to rinsing the driveway off. A little bit of oil there. Now I asked her, you know, whenever I provided the quote, that if there were any oil stains or anything like that in the driveway, you know, I asked her if she'd like to have those brought out. She said she's not worried about it and that there most likely aren't going to be many oil stains. But so far looks pretty good. There's that one little spot back there. It's not too bad. You know, I really do appreciate you guys for watching. I see that there's 3 on here now. You know, we've had a few people that have stepped in and left. You know, for those of you that are still watching, I do appreciate it. You know, I'd really like to get back to the whole YouTube thing, man. You know, putting our videos back on here, showing everybody how we do things here at 15 Cent Pressure Washing. You know, and sharing my story with you guys. When I first started this business, you know, I only had 15 cents to my name. A water hose and a pump sprayer, and it's pretty amazing where we're at today, and that can help to empower other people, you just got to believe in yourself, no matter what it is, people, like I mentioned earlier, people have always, I've always heard people say, oh, you can do anything you want in life, but growing up as an adult, it just didn't seem like it was actually that easy, and I didn't believe, I could literally do anything I want. I thought I was stuck to my 9 to 5. At one point in time, my 9 to 5 was my college. I felt like it was my only way, right? And then my sister passed away, and I looked at all of what I was putting into them and the little bit I was getting in return. And I imagine if I was to put that into myself, possibilities were endless, and that's what I did. Even though I was broke, only had 15 cents, I still believed in myself, and I ran with it. So it doesn't matter if it's a pressure washing business, you guys, a landscaping business, whatever it is, you can actually be anything you want and do anything you want to do. You just have to believe in it and start taking the steps towards that. And once you do that, things will start to fall in place. Now, it doesn't mean, there's not going to be hard times. There's always hard times. People that are multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, you better believe they have hard times too. It's just different for everybody. It's always best to just stay positive. Things are going to happen. And when we're negative about things, it just makes things worse. Like I said, it's going to happen. We can't, some things we just cannot change. So why let them bring us down? Why be negative about them? Just stay positive about everything. All right, you guys, we're going to get back to surface cleaning. Now, we do got a pressure line on the left side of us, so we're not going to be working against it. That section right there in front of us, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to, well, yeah, it may actually clean out pretty good now that we retreated it. But earlier I was thinking we may have to, go over it with the pressure washer and then retreat it again and pressure wash again. But it looks like it's doing pretty good. So once you do this for a while, you can look at things and tell if they're going to clean or not. You can tell if you need to retreat the area, the things to look for. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys know, for those of you that don't know anyways, know some of these things now. Save you guys some time. And we might as well just go all the way over. Yep, these are one of those spots I was worried about, and it looks like it cleaned up really good. I think we're good, y'all. Looks like it cleaned up really good. What's up, you guys? Thanks for watching. We are surface cleaning a driveway. I've already pre-treated all of the concrete. You can see how it's brown. That means all the mold has been killed. Now we're surface cleaning. We're going to go through and just cut this little section here, get them little triangles out of there so we don't have to keep fighting those. There we go. Hey you guys, welcome to the video. And you guys know I only had 15 cents to my name when I started this pressure washing business. A water hose and a pump sprayer. And now, we're into the mid 6 figures. And I personally made 6 figures a year. And this wasn't just because I started a pressure washing business. This could have been done with anything, and now where I'm at in life, I know this. But when I first started this business, I didn't know that. We're working on a coaching program to help other individuals learn how to personally make six figures. All right, so it is in progress. And then we're also going to have a part of the program where you can learn how to provide all of the exterior cleaning services, how to install custom fit Christmas lights, how to install gutter guards, how to clean underground drains. Pretty much everything I know how to do, we're going to put into a program, and we're going to help other people. We're going to help you guys save a lot of time. I'd really like to get back to YouTube. We're going to start putting out a lot more content. We're going to start going live a lot more often. We're going to start giving you guys a lot of information. I've just been so busy with 15-cent pressure washing. It's been hard to get to the videos. But man, we've had an awesome past 2 years. We've had awesome customers. Milltown has done us well. We absolutely love Columbia, Tennessee. Starting to service Spring Hill, Brentwood. Time to expand a little bit. So you can see the concrete's cleaning up pretty good. That treatment took very well. I'm definitely happy with it. So we are surface cleaning a driveway. We've already pre-treated all the concrete. All of the mold has been killed. Now we're surface cleaning. This customer will have a clean, long-lasting driveway. Here at 15-cent pressure washing, we try to provide the longest lasting cleans possible. That hose pulled in here. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know in the comments. I do believe we have live comments on. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I'm going to try to get a specific time of day. We'll start doing these videos, walk you guys through the services we provide and how we provide them. This will be for potential customers, you know, if you're wanting to know how we provide our services, and then for individuals that are wanting to learn how to provide exterior cleaning services. Or if you just like watching exterior cleaning. It can be satisfying sometimes. Yep, and our head on the surface cleaner is going out. I got another one in there, but we literally just got a fraction of this driveway to clean. You can see how it's stuck, right? It's not spinning. That head there, the bearings are drying out in it, and it needs to be replaced. We're going to replace it this evening. Let's try to free it up real quick. There we go. Should be good now. There she is. Alright, now let's do the part near the garage. So last section we got, and then we'll be done. Well, we still got to rinse the driveway, touch it up a little bit. We'll be done surface cleaning. Let's go ahead and move this trash can over a little bit. Trash can's dirty. There we go. You guys can see the clean and then the dirty. I was afraid this section wasn't going to take to the treatment that well, and we were going to have to retreat it and pressure wash it again, but it looks like it's doing pretty good. See, it's cleaning it up pretty good. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. I do have live comments on. Here to answer any questions y'all might have. If you got a job that you're doing, you know, there's a surface you're not sure how to clean, you know, just let me know. Or if you got a question about any of our services or how we provide them. Now through here we do have to go a little bit slower, just because there was a lot more mold here. It was pretty deep. We're not going to be able to go as fast as we did on the other areas of the driveway. back over a little bit of this. Just to ensure we don't get any zebra stripes. For those of you that don't know what zebra stripes are, when you clean the concrete, if you go too fast, it can still leave some stripes in there. Call them zebra stripes. Because it looks like a zebra. I don't want to rinse, and then we see stripes, and have to flush the surface cleaner back out and go over it again. So we're just going to go ahead and hit it now, just to be safe. Alright, there it is. Now we go take our surface cleaner back, grab our pressure wand, we'll rinse this off. We're going to start rinsing. We'll start rinsing up there first. We want to work down. We don't want to work against ourselves because that's going to create more work. Go ahead and put that right there. Alright, now let's grab our pressure wand and start rinsing. Now on this job, I'm also going to wash the house and the back deck, which we're not going to do that live. I just wanted to show you guys how we efficiently clean concrete to provide a long-lasting clean. Yep, we need our wand. Walked right past it. There she is. And like I mentioned earlier, guys, we use a 15-degree tip. I don't use any other tips. There's no reason to. Now we do use a turbo nozzle if we're doing curbs, stuff like that. We'll use the turbo nozzle. Make sure that's locked. Cut it on. All right, we're good to go. Let's get our pressure line out the way. Go ahead and cut all that in first. And then we're going to hit the side of the driveway too, because we don't want to rinse off all our concrete and then go to, do the side of the driveway, and then, we may get dirt on the driveway again, and then now we're double working. We don't want that. Move that out the way. We already got all that up there. We've already rinsed that part of the drive. Now we're going to rinse the garage door off. All right, good little bit of dirt on there. There's definitely dirt from where we sprayed just a second ago. Alright, y'all, bear with me for a second. I'll get a good shot here in a second. There we go. trash cans are dirty for some reason. There's stuff all over. It ain't from us. See, right now I'm using an 8-gallon minute machine at 4,000 PSI. See, this allows me to rinse big sections like this fairly quickly. Also allows me to surface clean bigger sections, considering we can rinse it as fast as we can. Oh, it's in there pretty good. You know, we try to tell customers before we come out if they can kill all their weeds. That would be a big help, because they clean out a lot better. Make sure we get all the dirt off the driveway. We don't want no dirt sitting back into our concrete. Oh, we got a little bit of mold there. Not today, you don't. Goodbye. All right. About done with the driveway, you guys. We're about there. Yeah, see, they were supposed to kill these weeds. prior to us coming out. They said they were going to kill them. We don't want to spray too much in that. There's wood down in there. Keep the concrete separated. We don't want to damage it. If all that was dead, you know, it would have sprayed right out. We wouldn't have had to use much pressure to get it cleaned up. Now here in a second, I'll show you guys the size of the driveway, and then we'll tell you how long it took to clean it. Now I pretty much treated half of the driveway prior to making this video. There it is. All right. So this is the end of the driveway near the garage. And it goes all the way up there. So it probably took about an hour and 20 minutes to clean this driveway. And that's with treating the concrete, killing all the mold, and then pressure washing it. Now, like I told you guys, we do use brighteners. So the concrete, you see how it's brightened up quite a bit. If we wouldn't have used that brightener, it wouldn't be as bright as it is right now. It still would have been clean. It definitely would have been clean, but it wouldn't have been as bright as it is. And when this thing completely dries, it will brighten up even a little bit more. Let's turn this around real quick, y'all. Well, let's clean this up. There we go. All right, so we've completed cleaning the driveway. For those of you that have tuned in and watched the video, I really do appreciate you guys for watching. You know, if you have any questions about our services, how we provide them, or if you have a surface that you're trying to clean and you're not 100% sure on what to use on how to clean it, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you guys have. Well, I really do appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay blessed.